Once upon a time, nestled between two misty mountains and wrapped in morning fog, there was a little village called Windmere Hollow. It wasn't known to many and often didn't even appear on maps, but those who stumbled upon it never forgot it. And right at the corner of Cobble Street stood a peculiar little shop with sky blue walls and golden swirls. Thistlewhip S. Clock Shop. Inside, the air smelled like cinnamon oil, sawdust, and a hint of something ancient. Clocks of every shape and size ticked and talked in harmony, some tall as trees, some small enough to fit in a pocket. But they didn't just tell time. Rumor had it they whispered secrets, echoed laughter from the past, and even held on to forgotten dreams. The man behind all this was Master Thistlewhip, an old clockmaker with silver spectacles, wild gray hair, and a beard that always looked windswept. He was quiet, but his eyes sparkled like he knew 1,000 stories he'd never tell. Then there was Lenny, a young boy with scruffy brown hair and curious eyes who lived in the attic of the town bakery. He had no parents, but he had tools, a box of gears, and a knack for fixing things. One rainy afternoon, while hiding from a thunderstorm, Lenny darted into Thistlewhip's shop for shelter. Instead of shooing him away, Thistlewhip handed him a broken cuckoo clock and said, "Let's see what you can do." From that moment on, Lenny became the clockmaker's apprentice. He swept floors, oiled hinges, and eventually built his own tiny watch from leftover parts. But every night, just before midnight, Master Thistlewhip would disappear behind a tall grandfather clock with 13 hands. Lenny was told never to open it, and for a long time he didn't, until one night curiosity got the better of him. He gently pulled open the tall clock S-carved door and found a spiral staircase made entirely of golden gears, leading deep underground. At the bottom was a glowing room filled with hourglasses that floated in midair, a spinning brass orb, and at the center a blue gem pulsing like a heartbeat. That gem, Thistlewhip revealed, was the heart of time. And he, Thistlewhip, was not just a clockmaker. He was a timekeeper, sworn to protect the flow of history itself. Lenny, stunned, asked if time was really something you could fix. Thistlewhip nodded. Time is a thread, and sometimes it tangles. As Lenny's training deepened, he learned how to repair moments, like a lost goodbye or a forgotten birthday, by using magical tools and ancient charts. But one day, while dusting an old moon-shaped wall clock, he heard something strange. A voice. A girl, crying softly from inside the clock. When Lenny leaned closer, the glass shimmered and the hands spun backward. Without thinking, he stepped through and found himself in a ruined version of Windmere Hollow, trapped in an endless storm. There, sitting on the steps of a crumbling chapel, was a girl named Mira. She had been caught in a time loop, reliving the same rainy day forever. Her village had vanished, forgotten by time. To free her, Lenny had to find the chrono key, scattered across 5 lost timelines. He traveled through the forest of forgotten hours, where trees whispered secrets. He flew through the city of tomorrow, where glass towers floated. He wandered the hollow century, where time had stopped altogether. On the island of midnight, he danced with shadows, and high above the clouds he faced a giant owl who guarded the final piece. Each place tested Lenny, not just his skill, but his heart. He helped people who didn't remember they needed help. He fixed clocks that healed memories, and when he finally assembled the chrono key, he had to make a choice. Free Mira, but lose his memory of her and the journey, or walk away and let her remain forgotten. He chose to free her. The moment Mira stepped through the portal, the storm lifted. The skies cleared. Windmere Hollow was restored, but Lenny awoke in his bed, the memories gone, except for a strange warmth in his chest. Back in the shop, Thistlewhip smiled quietly. He handed Lenny a brass key and said, "It's time you opened your own shop." Years later, travelers passing through Windmere Hollow would find a new little clock shop on Cobble Street. The owner, a young man with bright eyes and oil-stained sleeves, always knew the perfect clock for your story. And sometimes, just after midnight, if you listened closely, you'd hear a faint voice from behind the clocks. A laugh, a song, or maybe a thank you.